You're tuned in to RBLR, the home of Tampa Bay's Reveler Sports.
4 seconds left. In front. Happy moment. The Tampa Bay Lightning have won the first Stanley Cup. And the Tampa Bay Lightning have won the Stanley Cup. Lightning strikes twice. The Tampa Bay Lightning win their second straight Stanley Cup.
Hello everybody and welcome back to RBLR Lightning. As always, my name is Jay Ricker, alongside me, my good friend and co-host Matt Gannon. Matt, it's the middle of the offseason. Most probably the boring part for hockey fans. We are, right in that sweet spot of, there's nothing going on from the end of the season and nothing quite getting ready yet for the beginning of the season. But even though that is the case, we have a lot of fun things to talk about. How you doing today?
It's never a bad day if we get to talk some Lightning. Yeah, we truly are in the dog days of summer, especially as kind of like somebody who doesn't really watch a whole lot of other sports. I'm not really watching baseball. I'm excited for football coming up, but obviously eyes on the prize. Only 62 days left until the season. So
63 as of this recording. I'm not sure exactly when this will go up, but 63 as this recording, 62 tomorrow, August 10th. So we're right around the corner there. And you mentioned, it's funny, baseball. This diehard Rays fans, right during this time frame is when I start watching them the most, because I'm like, I don't got anything else to do, so let's watch some Rays baseball. They're doing pretty good right now. Sitting above 500. They're fighting, to jump up in that wild card spot. Be sure to go over and check out the RBLR Rays podcast for all the information on them as well. They do a great job over there breaking all that stuff down, all those advanced statistics they're throwing around there. It's very impressive. Highly recommend to go check them out. But today, Matt, we're going to be talking about jerseys because we have some news going around with jerseys. There's a lot of things coming up in the next couple of years here. So first things first, Adidas, this is going to be their last year as the jersey sponsor, I guess you could say, or the maker of the jersey. And then next year, we're going to have a new jersey maker. Who knows who that could be? And with this being Adidas's last year, they're also doing another round of the reverse retros, which were super popular in round one. I believe you would agree with me there. I think the reverse retros they did for the Lightning were, some people love those jerseys a lot.
yeah, the consensus I saw, at least like online, is they were top 5, and there were only a couple of them that I didn't really like. So, you're battling it out with, let's say 25 other jerseys to be top 5. I mean, they were super clean. Everybody loved them. I didn't hear a bad thing about them whatsoever. So, it's a shame we only got to wear them, a handful of times, if you can even call it a handful of times.
3. It was
that
3
season.
times.
Brutal. So,
Yeah,
it'd be nice we get a full season of some pretty wild reverse retros this year.
So there's been a lot of speculation for a while for the Lightning, but the I'm sorry, Matt, you got to remind me of the name because I have such trouble time saying it. Who is it?
Aesthetics on
Aesthetics,
YouTube and Instagram. Just quick side note, he's actually a phenomenal, just video maker, creator in general. Aesthetics. I listen to a lot of his podcasts and watch a lot of his videos, and he's a Bolts fan as well. So you'd never really know, just because he is
Did not know that.
He's very dedicated to his craft. He lives, just outside of Tampa. Again, you'd never know that. So, but he's just super, super dedicated to his craft. He does excellent work. And he's a friend of Bolts Nation. So he's all right in my book.
Very cool. I actually didn't even know he made videos as well. I'm gonna have to go check out that stuff after.
Dude, okay, so I'm just gonna go off again really quickly here.
Go for it, yeah.
Check out his video with Phil Esposito. It's only a 8-minute video. I wish it were longer, but it's amazing. He Phil gets Phil being himself. It was just a really cool story on how he kind of figured out the logo and the name, how he figured out he was going to name the team the Lightning. Really interesting video. Again, only 8 or 9 minutes long. I wish it were longer.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because it's known, I believe Aesthetics is the one that brought this up. Phil Esposito absolutely hated one of our not original jerseys, because the Lightning didn't have a third jersey right away, but very quickly got one a couple years later. But he hated these Storm jerseys. I believe the quote is he called them one of the ugliest blank jerseys in the National I also know he doesn't like the nickname Bolts too, which I find very funny because it's a huge part of the Lightning and their nickname Bolts. But not a fan of the Storm jerseys, and that's funny because the rumor, and this was reported by Aesthetics as well, is that the Lightning for their second reverse retro are going to do a Storm jersey. Matt, I'll get your reaction to this. I'm personally super excited. I've always loved the Storm jerseys. I think they're, one of those things so ugly that they're unique and kind of cool looking. A lot of other people don't agree with that. We actually put a poll over on the Bolt Report too, gauging interest for this. And it was majority people were excited about it, but there were a decent amount of people that were not excited about this news. Where do you fall on that line, Matt?
So I dig it, of course. I'm not sure if the pictures that were posted are of what the jersey's going to be, or if it's just kind of a mock-up of what they
Are
expect
you
them to
referring
be.
to the one that Aesthetics posted?
Yes, is that the leak? Is that what it is going to
No, I
be?
believe that is the
The
actual, like
original?
that's the original jersey. Yes.
Okay. Okay. No, I'm on board with it. Obviously I'd want to see what the finished product will be, but from what I have seen from some of the other leaks that have come out, I think there's been like maybe 5 or 6 of them. I know the Islanders, they're going back to the fisherman logo. The Oilers are rumored to be doing the oil drop logo design, and I know all 3 of those jerseys at least have, when they initially came out, they were largely hated. But now, so many decades removed from those jerseys, they are kind of, revered almost now, like that 90s,
Right.
early 2000s, big, colorful, popping style. They're honestly kind of revered now. Again, the Islanders, they only had the fish sticks logo for I think a year or so. Everybody hated they for the longest time they were regarded as the worst jerseys, not only in the National Hockey League, but all major sports in North America. Now, again, everybody is begging for them. So, from some of the other jerseys that we have seen, they're kind of going with these very eccentric, very poppy, bright looks. So, I think we'll fit right in. If the style was kind of like the reverse retro 1.0, everybody kind of they threw it back with some taste, but also didn't go way overboard. I think the reverse retro 2.0, the at least the scheme across the league from what I have seen so far, is everybody is kind of going all out with these. So I think they'll fit right in, being just as flashy as the other jerseys. So I'm on board. I like them.
I think this has a chance to be one of the best Lightning jerseys. And I say that because there's a lot of people that already really like the Storm jerseys for the reasons we just talked about. And even for the people that don't like them, there's a chance. I don't know how much they're going to change the jerseys, if they're going to try and modernize them a little bit. Like for Reverse Retro 1.0, the whole idea was every jersey kind of had the colors flipped around. Like for the Lightning, they basically took that '04 jersey and instead of a black base, they did a blue base. And then where the blue was on that jersey, the black was. So I'm not sure if color for this one, but if you're able to modernize this look a little bit, maybe clean it up a little bit, but still keep that Storm jersey feel, I think you're going to get a lot of people on board. And it could be one of the most popular jerseys for the Lightning. But we'll have to wait and see how that all plays out. I know also the rumor is that they're going to be doing the old NHL logo as the patch, right up on top of the collar.
The orange one?
I don't. What's that?
The orange NHL logo?
Yes, the
Oh,
orange NHL
sweet.
logo. I believe that's the rumor. I don't think that's been confirmed anywhere, but I know those were coming out on the leaks for the Vancouver jerseys. And I believe that's what's going to be happening for all the jerseys. So this is all speculation too. We're waiting for teasers to come out for this kind of stuff. It shouldn't be too long because there are only, as we mentioned, 63 days until opening night. So it can't be too much longer before these leaks or teasers start to come out very soon. But I think a Storm jersey could be a lot of fun. And if you're one of those people, I saw someone say on Twitter that they thought it was a terrible idea because the Lightning are a championship caliber team and we need to look like one.
Oh,
And
come
that those
on.
but listen, the NHL is trying to have some fun. That's what a lot of this is. It's fun just to mess around. And the NHL, I think, does a cool thing too, where they don't wear alternate jerseys in the playoffs. It's your home and regular away jerseys. So it's not like, they're going to be wearing these for the Stanley Cup finals, although that would be hilarious and quite entertaining. But this is a fun thing to do. It's also kind of a money grab for the NHL because, fans are going to go buy out these jerseys. I will too. I'm just as guilty as everybody else, but I think it could be really fun. I think this could be a home run opportunity for the Lightning. The other thing I want to talk about too, though, or sorry, go ahead, Matt.
No, you're good. You're good.
I was gonna say that. So the other thing that's going to be changing this upcoming season is we are supposed to be having ads on the jersey, and I believe we talked about this a little bit before, and we'll go over our opinions on this, but. There's been a couple of teams that have already announced what ads are going to be on their jerseys. And some of the deals for these companies have come out, like how much they're paying for this ad space. But I think it's only still like 4 teams that have announced how the ads that they're going to have on their jersey. So there's still a lot to be said. And again, the season is getting closer here. But first, let's start with Matt. What are your thoughts on ads on jerseys?
I never really, cared all that much about the helmet ads. As far as I know, that at least for this season, they're only doing the one on the jersey. It's going to be in the chest area. I know the only one that I know for sure that has come out so far is Washington's, and it really was. I can't quite remember who their sponsor was, but they posted a picture of it on a jersey, and
I
it really
believe they're a
wasn't.
sports book.
I think you're right. So, and it really wasn't overbearing. The NHL has placed like sanctions on how big the logo can be, X by X inches or whatever. But it really wasn't too bad. And at least the retail jerseys are going to be ad free. But again, I'm fine with one. I can definitely get over it, but I don't know. I just hope it doesn't snowball and become like like let's say like Liga jerseys, like
Right.
the smaller European leagues that require a lot more sponsorships to kind of keep them afloat, and they look like a skating billboard. That again, that would be many, 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 many years down the road. I just hope that doesn't really snowball to it. I hope this is still kind of a COVID recovery type of deal. So, but I would probably bet that there will be a couple more in the future. But as far as I know, we're only doing the one on the chest and one on the helmet for this year.
So you mentioned the helmet ads. I was not a fan when they announced the helmet ads either, although those are definitely not bad. You really can't see them at all when it comes to pictures or
Mhm.
watching the game, on TV. I am a huge opponent against jersey ads. I am not excited for this at all. I am not looking forward to it. Every day that passes, I just kind of hope that please let the Lightning be the only team that for some reason doesn't release an ad on their jersey, even though I know it's not going to happen. And my nightmare scenario is there's ads on the jerseys and then Nike gets the deal after Adidas is done. I'm very scared that might happen. But because for me, it's I just hate the idea of seeing, like Stanley Cup photos of players lifting the Stanley Cup or, and seeing those ads on the jerseys. I hate that idea and I'm not excited about it at all. I know Columbus also announced their jersey ads as well. Pittsburgh announced theirs. Pittsburgh's is the worst because I don't remember who the company is, but the ad is like a light blue color on their black and yellow jerseys. So it pops a lot. And that's the other thing. I believe the Lightning will probably do like a, Tampa General Hospital, like they did on the helmets.
That was my guess.
And yeah, that's what I think they're going to do. And if they do that, at that point, at least the color should kind of blend in at that point. So it might not be too bad. Also, I think Columbus was the one that did where they've got like 3 different ads for each of their jerseys. So I don't think the Lightning will do that. I would imagine the Lightning are going to go with one company, like the Capitals did in Pittsburgh did as well, but there's also some of that too. So there could be multiple different ads for different jerseys. I think that's crazy, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm not excited about it though, but they are coming, and I'm right there with you that I hope this is a COVID recovery thing and they can get rid of them after a little bit of while, and we don't have to worry about it. But only time will tell. We'll see what happens. Matt, I know you said that you thought it was going to be Tampa General Hospital as well. Any other guesses to who it could be possibly?
Well, so didn't Dex Imaging used to have space on the helmet?
I believe you're right. Yes.
Okay. And did they switch to TGH? I can't quite remember, but I don't know. I feel like, I think Dex Imaging looked better on the helmet just because it wasn't so abrasive. I don't know if I can say that, but because it's got the big red logo on it. I think TGH would look a lot better, more minimalistic on the jersey. I suppose. So in a perfect world, I guess that would be like my choice. But yeah, I don't know if I'd want to see that big red Dex Imaging, and who knows what it'll be. But I'm just saying, you'd want it to look at least flow well with the jersey.
Eureka, our producer in the background, mentioned Publix as a possible one.
Ooh.
That's a great idea for, because Publix is big in Florida and would be a good sponsor for Tampa. The only problem I see with Publix is kind of like what I mentioned with the Penguins. Is Publix logo is green. I mean, I guess you could make a white Publix logo and it would kind of work, but a green Publix ad on a Lightning jersey would look awful, and I would be furious with that decision. And that would pop even I was talking about my problem with the ads is seeing them in pictures and stuff, and doing a secondary color like that would not help. That's why Tampa General Hospital I don't think was too bad on the helmets, because they were, it just looked like another Lightning logo on top of there because it fit with the color scheme. So I like Publix as a company. I don't like them as an ad sponsor if they go with like a green color, unless they did like a white or black, which I don't know if they would ever do that. I think they might have a white logo somewhere.
I
but
know if Chris were here, he would completely object to the Publix logo. But no, I think with off the ice, the Lightning are an A+ class organization. I think they know that would really upset some people, even in a not so die-hard hockey market. Like if you did that, like if you put a big I don't know, a green logo on a Montreal Canadiens jersey, they'd burn the city. And I think the Phoenix, they've got enough respect for this team to kind of pick and choose, see maybe what would work best, not be too again abrasive or obstructive on that jersey, but because we all know that there's not going to be a shortage of sponsors wanting that ad space either. That's got to be some pretty valuable, pretty expensive space. And
I would imagine
when you've got again an A+ caliber team, you can kind of hold a little bit of an auction there for that ad space. So I can't imagine that ours is going to be too bad. But at the same time, if you're seeing Pittsburgh do it, who they've had their share of troubles in the past doing it, I can't be completely for certain. But at the same time, they are under new ownership. They've been a little tumultuous recently as well. So I don't mean to get into the whole business side of things, but this is just kind of where my mind is thinking about it.
You're right, though. Jeff Finnick is one of the best the best owner in sports, I should say. So if there's anybody I trust with this, it's Jeff Finnick. And then the other big thing for me too is how they're going to handle for fans buying a jersey. And I believe the way they've said it's going to work for the league, I don't know if it's going to vary from team to team or anything like that, but the rumor is that you'll be able to buy a regular jersey with no ad on there, or you can buy the jersey with the ad. That would at least make me happy because I'm an avid jersey person. I like to collect those types of things, and I would not want to have the ad on the jersey at all. So I'm hoping they're going to do something like that at the very least. Because the other problem is too, I can imagine this happening with some team is, some team has a jersey sponsor for somebody, and it's a company that you don't like their values or something like that, and it just becomes a whole mess. So that's another reason I don't like the jerseys at all, or jersey ads at all. But we'll have to wait and see here and see how this all plays out. Just at least give me the option to not buy the ad on the jersey.
From what I've heard is that there's not going to be the option to have ads on the jersey. Just, I've only heard this weeks, if not months ago, when the news came out that we were doing crest ads, is that, retail is going to be completely ad free. So I don't think you'll have to worry about that just
That would
quite
make me
yet.
happy.
Mhm.
Okay, good.
We got to keep Jake happy.
That's good to hear. But since we're on the topic of jerseys, let's make this a whole jersey show, because why not? Who doesn't love some good jerseys? Matt, I want to talk about some of the Lightning jersey history and go over some of our favorite jerseys maybe that we've seen the Lightning wear. They've got a decent amount of them, from 1992 to basically 2007. They had the same jersey, except the numbering would often change on there as well. And then again in 1996, I believe it was, they introduced the third jersey, which was the Storm jersey. And then it was 2007 when they made the first major change, where they completely redesigned the logo. And it's funny, if you actually look at the three different Lightning logos, it just keeps getting more minimalistic. Where the original had Tampa Bay Lightning on it, the second one they took off the Lightning, the third one they just took off all the words. So this 2007 though was when they first majorly redesigned that the jersey, and they went with that Tampa Bay, the blue stripe down the middle, and it was kind of that's when they still had the black as well and the white jersey. And then in 2008 they introduced the second alternate jersey for the Lightning, which was the Bolts, the introduction of the Bolts lettering across, and that was the blue jersey at the time for them. And those jerseys didn't last long, because in 2011 is when the Lightning redesigned again and went with the primary blue home jerseys and then white away. They still had the Tampa Bay logo above the name at that time. And then, of course, the Bolts alternate was still in rotation. And then I believe it was in 2014, they changed the alternate jerseys to where it was now a black Bolts jersey to bring back that black home that people loved, from the early stages of the team. And then it was in 2017 that they took away the Tampa Bay wording on top of the logo, and that's the current one that we currently have. And then in 2018, they introduced the other black alternates that we currently have, the what do they call them, the Disrupt the Night jerseys, or which have the gray storm effect is what they call it on the sleeves. I remember those were not popular when they first came out, but I think a lot of people have come around to them now. Actually, it's funny, I have to mention this too. People really think those jerseys are bad luck. I don't know what it is about them, but people are convinced they are bad luck. And I did an article on this a while back too. They're actually not. The Lightning actually have a winning record wearing those jerseys, believe it or not. But people are convinced they are bad luck, and it is hilarious to see people debate about it in comment sections.
Just
but
copy
then, of course,
and paste your article to it. Every comment that says bad luck, we're losing tonight, copy and paste your article to it.
I did that for a while, but I just got so sick of it, and I'm like, I can't keep doing this. And some people would still come back and they're like, it doesn't matter, it's still bad luck jerseys, I don't like them. That was usually the response to that. But then the last jersey we have to mention, of course, are the special event uniforms, which is the 2021 reverse retros, as we mentioned earlier, and then of course the 2022 Stadium Series jerseys the Lightning had, which were the white jerseys because they were the away team for that event. And it was the Bolts lettering in blue, and then a little lightning bolt at the bottom of the jersey. So that's a quick little rundown. Sorry, I know I was talking for a little bit there, but a quick rundown of the Lightning history for the jerseys. Matt, let me ask you this. Which one is your favorite, or which era is your favorite jersey?
That's tough. Recency bias plays a lot into this, but I do really like the, simplified design that we are kind of currently sticking with. I do miss the Tampa Bay lettering right above the crest there. They switched that. I think that was 2017-18, I believe, or 2016-17. I can't quite remember, but I like the primary jerseys we have. I wish they were a little different because, sometimes, you're watching a game, you can't if you look over, you'd never be able to tell if it was the Maple Leafs or the Lightning real quick. So I wish there
Toronto
was.
fans are quick to bring that up all the time.
Oh yeah, and our goal horns sound kind of similar, but that's another story. I don't know. I wish, maybe once we get these new jerseys, there'd be just something small to maybe differentiate them because they got similar stripe patterns and such. I'm not even gonna, I'm not talking about the pants either because we've got the superior pants. Those lightning bolts are sweet. I don't know. And again, I absolutely love the Stadium Series jerseys. Those are arguably like top 3 Lightning jerseys all time for me. Like they were great when they came out, and to me they've only gotten better, and I only want to see more and more of them. It's unfortunate because we probably never will again. I'm gonna, concrete, we probably never will. So I don't know. I do love the original home and away jerseys, but I'm not gonna say they look a little dated, but they were great for a retro jersey. So I don't know. As far as eras are going, yeah, I do like the current era. I've got my critiques on some of them, but I'm gonna say that the blue Bolts jersey, the diagonal Bolts jersey, those are the worst. Throw them away. I've never liked those whatsoever. I cannot believe those were a thing. The black Bolts jersey, much improved. I actually really like those. And I think I still prefer the black Bolts jersey over the current blackout the night or whatever it's called, the blackout jerseys right now. I can't quite tell, but I think I still like the black Bolts jersey better.
It's funny, the blue ones, which are the longest running alternate jerseys for the Lightning, are probably the least popular ones out of all the alternate jerseys that we've had. I will disagree with you when you were talking about the Stadium Series jerseys. The Lightning actually wore those a couple of times during the season, the regular season, which surprised me because I didn't think they were going to do that. I was very happy to see that. I think they might try and push those a little bit more, or not more, but I wouldn't be surprised if they wore them, like every once in a while, like against Nashville or something, just for the fun of it. I wouldn't be surprised. I hope they do that because I'm right there with you. They might even be my favorite jersey the Lightning have. I really like them. They're one of my favorites for sure. Them and the reverse retros are 2 of my favorites. I actually wish they kind of just made the reverse retros the alternate jerseys for the Lightning because I think they look fantastic. I like the current alternate jerseys. They're not my favorite, but I do like them better than the Bolts, 2 Bolts ones. I didn't love the black ones, and I definitely didn't love the blue ones either. But personally, if we're gonna stick with the black as the alternate, I would love to see the 2004 jerseys come back as the alternate jersey because that is my favorite era. The 2001 and 2007, they're my favorite jerseys. I know the new. The trend right now is modern, minimalistic. That's the thing that you do when you're designing logos and stuff now. But there is still a huge place in my heart for those 2001 and 2007 era jerseys. I absolutely love those. I think they're fantastic. Whenever I'm playing, the NHL video games, I'm always switching the jerseys back to those original ones. They look so good. I just love the black too.
I would love to see a solid color take on the Stadium Series jerseys for an alternate jersey. Just because, again, not only
what?
That wouldn't
be bad. That's a good idea.
Because again, like just the way that I think that they're maybe a little too out there. Sorry, I didn't really brush up on my my adjectives here, but that's not even an adjective. But I don't know. I think like the way that those how Stadium Series jerseys have always been, they've been very poppy kind of jerseys. But the Lightning's Stadium Series jersey, it really didn't overdo it. Like if you look at LA and Anaheim Stadium Series jerseys from a couple of years ago, they were like, Andy Warhol-esque, very poppy in your face kind of style. But I don't think the Lightning nor Nashville really overdid it. They kept it very vibrant, but also didn't overdo it as well. So if there could be a solid color version of it, whether it be primarily black or blue. Solid blue and white or solid black and blue or something. I'd love to see that, but again, I still think that in today's minimalist kind of corporate culture, that just wouldn't happen. So I'm fever dreaming here.
Okay, I'm mad at you for mentioning this now because I've just started to learn the Adobe apps like Photoshop and stuff like that. I'm terrible at it, and I cannot do like it take me a while to learn that stuff because it's very difficult to do. But now I know at 12 o'clock tonight or 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to be to make these jerseys because I think that's a fantastic idea. Here's what I could see. How about so you take the Stadium Series jerseys and then the primary color is black to keep that running for the alternate jerseys. And then you have white lettering and maybe a white lightning bolt at the bottom, except you make the lightning bolt a little bit smaller to make it more, minimalistic and modern. I think those would look really, really nice. And if somebody out there listening is really good in Photoshop, we're going to need somebody to get on that right away and try to create something like that.
I'll talk to the Matt guy on Twitter. I can't, tell you his handle.
Yeah.
He posts all the memes and he does a lot of jersey swaps, like he did the Bucks blue jerseys and Lightning, red or crimson Bucks jerseys or Lightning jerseys. So
he's the type of guy that always amazes me because I remember like when somebody said there were rumors of Soto getting traded to the Rays, and within like 10 minutes he's posting a picture of a jersey swap. I'm like, how on earth did you do that fast? Because like I said, I'm starting to mess around with those apps. It took me like 4 hours. I did a Claude Giroux jersey swap for the Lightning. And it took me like 4 hours just to get it done, and it looked terrible. So if you can do that, props to you, because it's a very difficult thing to do and takes a long time to learn. But we're definitely
I can't even rotate text in Microsoft Paint.
Yeah, and there you go, Microsoft Paint, right? Looks just as good. That's my favorite when teams always do that. They'll post like a Microsoft Paint version of a jersey swap, and they're like, "What do you guys think of our jersey swaps?"
The heads are huge or way too tiny.
Right, exactly. Mm-hmm. Or the other thing people will do is like when Nemestikov signed with the Lightning, they just go grab a picture of him with the Lightning, and they're like, "Look at my really realistic jersey swap I did of Nemestikov." Always a common joke that people love to throw out there, but. Man, I'm excited about our alternate jersey ideas. We're going to have to create something and pitch it to the Lightning, Matt, and then maybe we'll get an RBLR sponsor on that jersey. That'll be the ad for that one up in the corner. But I think that could be really cool. Let us know what you guys think down in the comments down below as well. Let us, or wherever you're watching, let us know what jerseys yours are your favorite. What do you think of some ideas for a new alternate jersey as well? We'd love to hear any and all thoughts about that as well. Also, if you're looking for some new shirts, we're talking about jerseys this whole episode. Don't forget to head over to the RBLR shop as well and check out some of the awesome shirts that we have hanging around over there. We've got awesome Lightning, Rays, Bucks, Rowdies, all different teams. Very cool, different selected shirts. You can always use code BOLTS at checkout as well for 10% off your order as well. So don't forget to go check that out when you have a chance. But man, I'm excited about those jerseys now. You got me excited, man. I think those could be cool. I think they could be a lot of fun. But I think for the most part, the Lightning have done a good job with their jerseys overall. I mean, there's some that people don't love, like we're talking about the blue alternate ones. But, like even the Storm jerseys that aren't super popular, they've become a very classic, so ugly it's good kind of thing. And there really haven't been that many jerseys that have been really bad for the Lightning, I think.
No. Again, other than the Blue Bolts jersey, that's really the only dud for me. And the Storm jersey, again, it's been so long that it's now, revered. So I'm completely on that one too. So no, we, in the grand scheme, we really haven't had that many flops for jerseys like a lot of other teams kind of had. As far as other teams' jerseys all time, what's your favorite? Could be, primary, alternate, away, whatever it may be. Any other team other than the Lightning? Let's keep the NHL though.
Oh man, that's a tough question. Because obviously I'm biased and I love the Lightning jerseys the most. Dang it, you put me on the spot here and now I can't think of
I'll give you a second to think about it, but for
you know what? I just thought of it. Sorry.
Go.
I actually really like Seattle's jerseys. I think they did a fantastic
They
job
are
with
good.
those. They look fantastic. And I know that
Wonder
might be
what,
the easy pick because they're new, but I really do like Seattle's jerseys. They
because you
might
can't
even
hate
be my
them yet.
second favorite.
I wonder
What
what
about you?
I wonder what Seattle's reverse retro is gonna be.
Oh, that's true. Well, they'll
Pro-
probably go back to the old time because
millionaires.
Seattle used to be a team,
Hmm.
like way early on. So they might do something with that. Is what I imagine they'll do.
Yeah, they were never an NHL team, but they Seattle, or I can't, no, it's the Vancouver Millionaires. Well, they were a PCA team, but they still technically won the Stanley Cup before the NHL was a real thing. But that's a NHL history episode we'll do. um,
There you go.
but no, mine, I don't know. It would have to be the early 2000s LA Kings with the primary black and the purple
Mm,
shoulder patches and the lower bands there. I really love those. The Kings have never had really bad jerseys. They've had some really colorful jerseys like the purple and yellow, Lakers-esque jerseys, but I don't know, those black and purple jerseys, they were always my go-tos whenever I played as the Kings on NHL. I loved them.
okay, so I gotta say this. I'm on NHL uniform database, and I'm clicking around on here. I clicked on Seattle's, and the player name they have on those is Yanni Gord. So I am now depressed, and I'm very upset that I had to see that once again.
Can I
But that
make
was
you a little
funny
more
though.
depressed?
No,
So
but go ahead.
I'm gonna do it anyway. So as we're recording, we are 63 days away from the start of the season, and I believe that was Yanni Gore's rookie number, 63.
That's right. Yeah.
Aha.
So the boat report's been doing a countdown every day, and we used Gord a couple of days ago. I can't remember what. I think he had scored
Oh,
that
he
we
was
used him for. I can't
65
remember.
actually.
That might have been it. He might have worn
It
65.
was, because
So we
I'm
used him a couple
picturing it
days
right
ago.
now.
It was 65.
It was
Okay, close.
65.
65,
Okay.
63, close enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember when we
Thank
used
you,
him
Jay.
for that, and it was like, oh man, this is a tough video to watch just because he was such a great player for the Lightning. It's a shame that he had to go to the Kraken because of the expansion draft. Here, I'll mention Eureka's as well. He said he let us know what his favorites were. He said number 1, old school Avs jerseys. The number 2 is the Coyotes, and I for the life of me don't know what this is. Coyotes
Oh,
Kachina?
that's
Do you know
their
what that is, Matt?
yeah, it's like they just went back to it this year. You know how they had the maroon coyote logo,
Oh,
and this
that
was the
one.
kind of
Okay.
I don't even know how you describe it, but the current Coyotes jersey, that style.
I did not know it was called a Kachina, if I'm even
Mhm.
pronouncing that right.
Yeah,
I
and their
did not know
purple
that.
alternates are some of the best uniforms in the league.
The reverse retros are you talking about?
I think they were the reverse retros. Yeah, I'm
The
pretty sure they
purple
were.
ones, right? Yeah, they were the
Yeah.
reverse retros.
You know what? I honestly, despite the Coyotes being such a joke of a franchise, unfortunately, those probably slot in my top 3 all time for
Yeah.
non-Lightning jerseys.
I remember
That was a
people
good call,
loved
Eureka.
those. His third one, by the way, was the Red Wings timeless design as well. Also, he said that, so a Kachina is a spirit animal from Native American culture. So shout out to Eureka in the background here, teaching us some new things. Thank you very much.
Wisdom.
Learn something new every day, right? But you're right about the Coyotes reverse retros. I remember people loved those when they come out.
Mhm.
Although you're absolutely right, that franchise is such a mess right now. And oh god, man, I hope they can get a new stadium and get things back on track because they are an absolute mess. While we're on the topic of other NHL teams, though, I guess we should bring this up because I found this hilarious. And just other NHL news, the Rangers decided to announce a new captain for their team today. And Matt, you might be thinking, well, maybe Alex Lafreniere or Zibanejad or Chris Kreider. He's been there a
Or
long
even
time.
Adam Fox, young gun who's going to be on the team for a
Yeah.
while, leads by example and is a good player, but
No, it was defenseman Jacob Trouba that is going to be the new captain, according to Kevin Weeks of the New York Rangers. And I've got to say, I am shocked I don't think the team made it official quite
No,
yet.
they did this
They
morning.
did.
Mm-hmm.
They did make it official. Wow. I mean, that's all I have to say. Listen, I'm sure Trouba is a great player, obviously, because he's been at the NHL level. But he's been known to have a lot of questionable hits. I believe he's been suspended before, if I'm for sure. It's just a questionable decision. I guess there's something behind the scenes that we don't see that the Rangers do. But I know a lot of people were shocked with that.
As far as I know, Trouba has a clean track record with the NHL Department of Player Safety.
Does he really? That is wild.
I know the storyline that I bought into this entire season before pre-playoffs was he makes massive hits, but they're clean. And I bought into that because, they were. But once these playoffs started, he had that hit on Crosby that was dirty, went uncalled, and it's a cold day in hell when I'm defending Sidney Crosby. But it was a bad hit, and there was, how many of them were there against the Lightning? That may be why I've got such a strong take on this. There was one that he missed Pierre-Edouard Bellemare. He was going full steam in with the elbow. There were a couple more, not even in just this series, but against the Hurricanes too. He had a couple in there, and they all went. A lot of them got called, but they all went unfined or unsuspended because you have to pretty much behead somebody with a knife in the playoffs to get suspended. So I don't know. There were so many other good examples. He's not like an older guy. Even like I think Chris Kreider is a little bit older than him. But when you got to think like your captain is the face of your franchise, not a bottom pair defenseman. He played on the top unit, but he really did not have a good playoffs at all. Like he was one of the reasons the Lightning won one of the games against them in the conference finals there. Like he took two awful penalties that the Lightning scored on both of them. He got walked by Stamkos a couple of times. It was just I'm not that I'm sad for Rangers fans, but I can kind of understand. Like we've been waiting for a captain since Ryan McDonagh left, and now he's gone from the Lightning, and it's Jacob Trouba, not Chris Kreider, not Adam Fox, even maybe Artemi Panarin. It's a little baffling to me. I don't really understand it. A lot of the players say, he's a leader. To me, the only thing he leads is his hits with his elbows.
Yeah, it's a weird choice for sure. He was suspended, by the way.
He was?
At least once. He was suspended back in 2017 against the Senators, back when he was playing for the Jets. So he does have one suspension. But the good news is that we are not New York Rangers fans, and we have one of the greatest captains in NHL history in Steven Stamkos, who I am eternally grateful for. And, a lot of people thought was going to leave us back when his contract was up, but he said no. He said to quote the Wolf of Wall Street, "I'm not effing leaving," and he's staying right here in Tampa Bay. And he has been a fantastic captain for us, and that was probably one of the best decisions. Because actually, that's a whole nother episode. So actually, what? We'll put it this way: make sure you guys tune in next time when we talk about the history of the captaincy for the Lightning, because there's a lot to dive into that. And Steven Stamkos is one of the longest running captains and the best captain that the Lightning have ever had in their franchise history. But Matt, anything else to add on the jerseys before we wrap things up here?
Other than I hope we get a revamped version of the Storm jerseys. No, I would love to see that, but I think we've kind of covered it all, at least in the jersey talk today. Yeah,
so hopefully we will see a reverse retro for the Storm jerseys. Let's jump on that opportunity for the alternate 2022 stadium jerseys. If you're out there listening, I want to see something. We gotta come up with something there. But
everybody email Jeff Vinnick.
Yeah, send an email to Jeff Vinnick. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you're still with us as well, be sure to leave a like on this video or give us that 5-star rating, whatever it is on whatever platform you're listening. We really appreciate that help. So thank you so much for that as well. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter at RBLR Sports for all of the podcasts. Again, I mentioned the Rays podcast going on right now with the Rays in the thick of their season right now. Don't forget to go follow that for all those other great podcasts you can go check out and listen to. But that's all we have for this episode, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Go Bolts!
Thank you for tuning into this presentation by RBLR Sports. On your way out of the stadium, please remember to like and subscribe.